19th, 2024, and you guys are already here waiting. Who do we have on? We've got Charmaine in Maine is on right now. Hello, hello. Stephen in Australia is on. Well, there's 6 people on. All right, you guys, roll call. Who's on? I can't see anybody else who's spoken yet, so let's get into what we're going to talk about today a little bit. I mean, you guys direct what we're actually going to talk about, but we're going to do the giveaway. We're going to do it live today, and that's a result of Charmaine letting me know that she'd rather see it live than me doing a separate video, which I thought I would do. Olia is on too, I believe, from Poland, and yeah, so rather than me doing that separate video, I was going to do the giveaway, and I was going to kind of touch on one of the other auction items, this auction item to be exact. I was going to start with what was in that, but we're not going to do that today. What we are going to do is do it live. You guys are going to find out who is on this month to win. So I've got 28 entries that put airmail in the video for Stamp of the Month. We're going to review again too what that person has a potential chance of winning. And we'll talk about videos upcoming, things that we're going to do. This is Father's Day weekend here in Canada and in many other places too. Tomorrow is supposed to be beautiful out, so I've requested that my kids and wife and I, we go down to Fundy National Park and do a hike and get sticky buns at the famous Kelly's Bake Shop. And just make a day of it, and maybe even I'll stop at a few antique stores along the way if they're open and see what's there for postcards and things. So that's my plan for Father's Day. Now, what I will be doing for a video, I'm not sure. I might videotape and blog what we're doing for Father's Day. That might happen. Today I've been doing my direct swaps, trying to catch up on a few of those. I know I have some post-crossing ones to do, so I might still get a video out in time for post-crossing. Depends what time we leave in the morning and what time we get back in the evening as well too. But where it's going to be Father's Day, I don't plan on doing any cooking. So the meal will be prepared for me, and I believe my father-in-law and mother-in-law are coming over, so they'll be around for it too. I'll probably get a call in or stop in and visit my father on Sunday. So that's the plan. Next week, though, my son Ari is graduating for high school, so Monday is prom, and then Tuesday, I think he picks up his gown, gets his yearbook, gets his ticket for graduation, probably a rehearsal as well for graduation, and then Wednesday's graduation, and then his high school years are all done. So he's already started a full-time job. He started last week. He's working on a construction site, being a general laborer, doing that full-time. So it'll be a good experience for him to learn hard work, maybe see what different trades do, and kind of have an idea of what he does want to do and what he doesn't want to do. Maybe he'll decide he'll want to go back to school and learn something else too. I don't know, but it's good work for him. The other thing is my daughter arrived on Wednesday, so she's back in town. Very happy to have her here. She's just here for a few weeks. She wanted to be here for the graduation and have a visit, but she's working full-time as well, so she's up in Montreal. She works remotely, so she can work in her apartment there. So she's working while she's here too. So even though I get home from work, she might be around in her bedroom, but she's working away. She works for a simulator company out of Montreal. They build racing simulators, very expensive racing simulators that get sold to the rich and famous around the world. I think they're about $30,000 a piece to install. And so she does all the social media for them. So it's a big job, and it's kind of what she's been studying. So it's a great, for her, it's also in the field that she likes to do. So that is what is going on around here. Staying busy, but balancing things. So I still get some downtime, which is good. Welcome Media, who's on from Helsinki, Finland. She's had a nice trip too, so I'm glad that she's home safely and had a great trip. I'll show you what I see in the background, spinning away. So we will get to that, but I'm kind of waiting for a few more people to come on. What I want to do, unless you guys have some questions to ask first, I want to show you what we're giving away once again. So I did Stamp of the Month. This month was on the airmail stamps that have come out over time. It's done around the world. We talk a little bit about the history of it. We talked about why it says pas d'avion on an airmail sticker, even though it may be coming from an English country. So we did all that. What we're going to do for giveaway is I'm going to give these stamps. They're a bit of a glare, but they're a bunch of mostly American airmail stamps. There's a couple other countries there at the bottom. I will put them in an envelope and send it. I won't send it in this sheet, but it'll be easier for me to mail if I put it in an envelope. Also, Liverpool Stamps, who is gracious enough to collaborate with me on these videos and help do the giveaways, sent these stamps on the envelope. So I'm going to be cutting off the envelope and sending those on as well. There's some D-Day stamps there as well on the bottom. You'll get those. They sent mint REF stamps from Great Britain. Those the winner gets. This £5 coin for the REF. Stephen from Australia, who is on now, is also stepped up to the plate and put about 250 stamps in here. So I've never opened it. I don't know what's in there, but it's good. I'm also going to give you a sheet of airmail stickers as well from Canada. So all that stuff is going to the winner. Media says Father's Day is in November in Finland. Yes, it's different times in different countries. I think maybe throughout the British Commonwealth and of course the United States, it's probably celebrated tomorrow. And then maybe other countries are in different times. Great, I'm glad you had a wonderful time in Sweden, Media. So yeah, so that's the giveaway. Should we do it now? Should we wait a little longer? Not sure who else might be popping on. I know we're only 7 minutes in, but we do tend to have some people that pop on a little bit later. And for those people that tend to watch the video at a later date too, or do we make them wait longer, or do we get right to it? I'm already starting to think about the giveaway and my subject matter for July. Welcome, Roger, in Greece, 32 degrees there. Okay, weather reports, we can do that now too. Weather here is 16 degrees today and rain. Tomorrow, I think it's going to be about 28 or 29 degrees, and the next week it's going to be in the 30s. So it's getting hot quick, but I'm happy with what we had. We've had a lot of days where it's threatened to rain, and maybe it did just a little bit at night. Never got me wet at work, which was nice. So most of the time it rained when it was convenient and not when it was inconvenient for me. So what about other places? What's your weather like? 18 degrees Celsius and sunny in Finland. It's 11 degrees at nighttime in Port Lincoln, Australia. Olia, what's it doing in Poland right now? And Charmaine, what's it doing in Maine? Anyone else who happens to be on too now? 67 degrees Fahrenheit in Maine. I have to wake up the computer. It's about to go to sleep on me. I didn't want to do that before we have the official spin of the wheel. All right, so other videos I have coming out, of course, are the leftover of the auction. So far I've shown you what I've been able to win on doing a minimum bid only at last weekend's stamp auction. Auction 24 degrees Celsius in Poland from Olia. Feel pretty happy with what I won. Still a little disappointed that I didn't bid on some of the ones that I really wanted to win, but I did want to be true to the video and to my budget as well and not overbid on things. So happy with what I got. Thank you, Roger, for the happy Father's Day thing. But yeah, the Czechoslovakian collections, 2 of those, mint souvenir sheet binders, old New Zealand stamps, microscope, those are things. And then this big box that's sitting behind me is still to be revealed. Not only to you, but to me as well. I know some of the stuff that's in there because I had a quick look before I even bid on it, but I haven't gone back and gone through things. I think I'm going to break it up into 2 parts because there is a lot of stuff in that box. All right, let's get to it. I'm gonna flip this around. Right there. Bloop. So these are the people that I have that are had put in air mails in the video for Stamp of the Month. I did have a number of people that commented but didn't put the word in, and the only thing I'm asking you to do, if you can't do that, then I'm not putting it in the giveaway. So it's pretty simple to do. So these are all the 28 people that did do it. And now, Stephen, I know that you put your name in, and you're part of you're given part of the way. And it's not mint stamps I'm giving, so we'll find out. If you happen to win, it'll be up to you. Let me know whether you want me to spin again, or whether you want to take back your stamps. So there we go. What else do we have here? Oh, Mark Sutton's on. Mark, did you get your winnings yet from the month of April? Did you ever get your prize in the mail? I know it was a big package and it probably takes a little longer. I didn't pay for it to be express post because it was going to be through the roof expensive. But I did send it out in time. Did you ever get it? All right, let's spin while we've got those questions out there. And then drum roll, here we go. The winner for the month is... oh, it's Snail Mail with Smokey. We all know him. We've all tuned in and go to his channel and are subscribed. If you don't, you should. He is a big stamp guy. I know he will appreciate, one, all the British stuff that's involved in here because he loves anything British. But he is a good stamp collector too, so this will go well to him. So congratulations, Smokey, on winning this. I will get this package all put up and out to you as quick as possible. There we go. Congratulations, Smokey. And don't forget, everyone, every month I am doing a Stamp of the Month video, and lucky to have Liverpool Stamps be a partner, and we do giveaways now every month, so I'm glad that solves the question, Stephen. You're right. You don't have to get the stuff back, but Smokey will appreciate it. And anyone who may be disappointed that they didn't win this one, like I'm saying, keep entering every month. You might get a chance to win. It's a lottery, so who knows who's going to win. But now I don't have to track down an address either. I do have his address. All right, that is done. I'm itching to get into this box behind, so I either gonna have to move it soon because I don't. You know what? You guys are on here. Let's give you a sneak peek real quick. You up for a sneak peek at what I won at the auction? I'm just gonna pull one thing out randomly. It's a glassine envelope, and it is full of stamps. So it is an envelope full of these US 5-cent blue stamps. And I can tell you there is probably, I don't know, 70 of those glassine envelopes in there. And then there are a ton of envelopes like this that have Scott catalog numbers on them that all have check marks on them. So you kind of can guess what might be in these envelopes. There, that's your sneak peek of what's going to be in there. Mark says he hasn't received it yet. He phoned the sorting office. They don't see it. It's not your fault. My address is right. So they know the address. Everything's there. Then we're just going to have to cross our fingers and hopefully it gets there, that it hasn't been stolen along the way or what have you. Fingers are crossed that the postal system will come through and you'll eventually get it, and hopefully in good condition. I can tell you I put real stamps on the front of it, and they're supposed to be a super surprise for you. The parcel cost me a lot, so I used big amount stamps. Maybe that's a hint. Stephen says, it's usually safe for me to enter spins as I most never win. Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, I'm the same way. I hardly ever win contests, so I'm very surprised if someone ever says I won something. Charmaine's the same way, yeah. I think maybe we're a bunch of people that are happy to see other people win, but would really like to see us win once in a while. I like these, I love doing these giveaways. I like the partnership I have. But what I really like now is that more and more of you are sending me things with something saying for a giveaway. So Elena sent me something just this week. There's a United States album of stamps. The stamps weren't in it, but I'm going to look in my collection of stamps to see if I can replenish it, and so we can use that as part of a future giveaway. Maybe even the one that's coming out next month, if I can get all the stamps together that I want to fill it out. So yeah. And then I'm getting a few people that are sending me bits and pieces of their art in, so that is going to be a giveaway in the future. We might be having multiple giveaways every month at this rate if more and more people are getting generous. And I've had a few people too that have sent me in a little money to help pay for the costs of stuff too, which I've appreciated. So thank you to all of you that do these things, that help make this a good community, that are growing this channel. We are getting close to 1,600 subscribers now. I think we're about 14 people away from that. So by next weekend, hopefully we'll be over 1,600. Stephen says it's always nice to see it. See other people win, though. Yeah, it is nice to see people win. And especially people that you know that are going to appreciate what they've won. Charmaine sent some photo postcards, so that will be part of my calling all artists things. So I've had some art that I've shown a little bit, some photographs that people have sent in. I'm kind of putting that stuff aside, so it's all going to be going into that future giveaway. Oh, Roger, a topic and theme for collection. Anyone could collect the first miniature souvenir sheets of each country. How about it? Greece issued #1 in 1978. Anyone could collect them. Are you asking if anyone does collect that as a theme or a topic in the future? Or are you asking that as a topic right now that we should talk about? I can tell you I don't. I wasn't really into, not that I didn't like them, I just didn't have the extra money to put into souvenir sheets at the time. I did first day covers, that was kind of my thing. And of course my father was the used stamp side of it. And then more and more he got some people that were sending him mint stamps, so he got special binders that put those mint stamps in. And every once in a while there was a souvenir sheet, so he's got that. Stephen says, wow, that's late for a miniature sheet, 1970. So yeah, so recently, last week, I got a bunch of Ukrainian stamps and stuff from Hannah. Last week, week before, well, it depends. If you're seeing this week, the Friday before last, that's what I'm trying to say anyways. And so that was really cool. When did Canada issue its first souvenir sheet? I have no idea. I do not have that answer for you, Roger. Like I said, I wasn't a collector of them, so now I'm starting to get more and more of them. I'm putting them in binders and protecting them as mint stamps. And I did find out who the Hannah was. I'd asked the question, I'd received that envelope, and I was pretty sure I knew who it was from, but the address didn't match. And then I went back in my records and realized that this Hannah had reached out to me through Post Crossing to do a trade for stamps. And so I've reached out to her, and luckily I did, because her address has changed. So I do have that new one, and I can send out the stamps back to her that she was looking for. Stephen says that was for a philatelic exhibition back in 1978. I always know there's going to be someone who's going to have the answers. Stephen, do you have the answer for what year the first Canadian souvenir sheet came out, or miniature sheet. Oh, and if Shara happens to be watching now or later from British Columbia, congratulations to her daughter as well, who is graduating this year. She's the same age as my son. She just had her prom on Friday, so yesterday. So yeah, it's an exciting time. It's also a very sad time when the kids are growing up, especially if it's your last one going through the system. There are some celebrations of not being in the general school system anymore, and I think we're looking to a little bit of that freedom for next year, where we don't have to pay the costs that are associated with having your children in school, sports and activities, things that come up, and then traveling for those events. But at the same time, it means that your kids are getting to the age where they're becoming adults and going off and doing their own things. So it is a reflective time in your mind. That being said, there is another video that will be coming out next week in celebration of Ari's life. I've been going through and collecting all the older pictures and stuff, and I'll be looking for the music to go with it. I did the same thing for Dea when she graduated high school. So that is in the works as another thing that I've put on my plate to do. Oli is just talking to Stephen there, so okay. So the part of being that dad guy is that you've got kids and you still have them to worry about, but they are doing their own things. And everyone always says time flies by quick, and the older you get, the quicker it goes. There's 100% truth to that. But you reflect a lot too while you're in that roller coaster watching time go by. One thing I am looking forward to as we skip through, I don't want to skip ahead too far and bypass my summer, but in September, my wife and I are going on that cruise of the Adriatic to go to out of Italy and going to Croatia and to Greece, with brief stops in each of those countries. We are really looking forward to going on that trip, and we'd never been on a cruise ship before, so this will be our first experience to do so. I've been watching some videos about it. I'm looking forward to making my own videos about it while we're away. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Gary is on from British Columbia. Another wet morning on the West Coast, so you're enjoying some rain. You did have a nice day yesterday, though, didn't you? Because I think Shara, with her posting pictures of her daughter's prom, it looked pretty nice. But you do get your fair share of wet mornings out there. And Anna in upstate New York, I just got a text pop up on the thing. She was thanking me for the shout out I did in my Friday's video. If you're watching this video, here's another shout out. I really appreciated you surprising me with the postcard. So there are some people out there that are watching and for the first time, and they're very kind to go into the description of the videos, find my address, and send something. Another person I had do that this week was Tasha, who's in Virginia. Not only did she send me a thank you card for watching the channel or for producing it, and her starting into post crossing and stamp collecting, but she also sent me a couple blank postcards, and she answered my question of the month. So if you guys haven't answered that question but still want to participate, you can. The question was, tell me something inspirational. So whether it was something that inspired you, something that you do that inspires other people, just an inspirational story that you have to share. The one that I got from Virginia, or Tasha in Virginia, it was really good, and it reminded me of something else. So Mark says next week UK is issuing the Red Arrow's 60th anniversary. It's also coming in a souvenir sheet. So the Red Arrows, is it a flying, like an Air Force flying team? Is that what I remember it is? Am I correct there? Stephen says he thinks the first Canadian miniature sheet was issued in 1982 for the Youth Philatelic Exhibition. Okay. Gary said, I finally got through a grab bag purchased at the stamp show 2 weeks ago for $15 for a Ziploc bag. All right, was it worth your $15? Were you happy with your purchase? And Media went to a meetup, had 29 people there this past Wednesday. Big amount of people to go. She was telling me about it, so it looks like a lot of fun. I haven't heard anything about meetups happening here this summer. I have messaged Sophia a couple times. She's been doing some other things. She's quite busy. I don't know if she's going to get down and do another one here or not. And I don't know if anyone else is mantled to try to do one. Charmaine, you went to a meetup as well, didn't you? You didn't have 29 people, but it was still something you might want to share. Steven says in the bag he had a couple hundred US pre-cancels, lots of Newfoundland, lots of Canada and US, small amounts of many. Oh, sounds like a good overall bag. Was it off paper or is it a bag that you're going to have to soak? The other thing about this box behind that we had a sneak peek of, it's all off paper. So that's another nice thing that I appreciate. So you have on and off paper, okay. I know there's lots of people out there that love soaking stamps. And I don't dislike it. I just know it's a big chore to soak and then to let dry and then to organize them out. It's always a daunting task. If you look around at this office now, there's a box there. There is piles of stuff back there. So every time I go to an auction, the stamp show, I pick up a couple things that I want to be able to show you guys, and then they sit. I have gotten through one box, I can tell you that. There was a big box of stamps that I've gone through and organized it all, and I put it into bags. So all my 17-cent Canadian stamps that I found, I sorted them into these bags. These still have to be further sorted into binders or something or other. Right now, it's easy if someone says, do you have this 17-cent stamp? I can pull out that plastic bag, go through it, and see yes or no if I do. So I'm happy with that level right now, but I have a lot more that I still have to do. Well, Steve says, looks like his room. All right, well, good. I'm glad I'm not the only one in a bit of shambles here. My mother-in-law walked into this room last night. We went out for supper, and she just saw all the stuff. I was like, oh, there's a lot of it. There is. I've started to clean up little piles. People have sent me some things, and some things that were interesting to read about, but stuff I didn't need to save and collect. So I've started to put a few of that stuff away in the garbage. I've also had receipts that have been piling up here, envelopes of mail that needed to be put away. So I've done some of that, but I still have a lot of mess. For example, I'm going to do the best way to do this. I've had these for so long. These are 2 letters that are supposed to go to Russia. See, it's even got a That Dad Guy stamp on it, so it shows how long that I've had these now. And they've been sitting here on my desk because we are not allowed to mail to Russia. So I haven't been able to get them out. The postage will be good for the time that it takes, but one day if we're allowed to send to Russia, I could put those 2 letters in the mail. I don't know if people will ever get them, but I've meant to send them out for ages, and I can't until we're allowed again. So they just sit there on my desk. What did I miss along the way here? Mark says the air display, red and white and blue, smoke comes out of the tail of the air. Yeah, those are the ones I was thinking about. Yeah. There are some Canadian small Queen Victoria stamps. Okay, that was a nice find in the bag. Gary, you think your room is messier than this? Okay. Olia, you're going to have many new friends through this channel. I know I've got many new friends as a result of this channel too, including yourself. So I'm really pleased with this community. Everybody steps up. Everybody likes to send a surprise. Stephen is all over the place sending surprises to people when they get the addresses. Now, I must warn you, when somebody says, oh, could you send me an address? I always ask the person first before I send an address on. Such as the case, Olia got a letter from Stephen this week. There was no address on it. She asked me if I could send her the address, so I went to Stephen first, made sure it was okay, and then send it on. So I don't mind connecting people, but I always ask permission because I think that's the right thing to do. Charmaine says it's great to meet new friends on here. I agree 1,000%. Roger says his first mini sheet for New Zealand was a health stamps issued in 1957. But an ordinary one was issued in 1969 for Captain Cook. Wow, go back a long time, your mini sheets. Yeah, Olia, if you can still order stamps in Poland that are customized, do it. It's a lot of fun. I have a few left, not many, because Canada Post stopped doing it. So the stamp that I showed here, this one was one of the early ones that I ordered. You can even see with the other stamps that are on it how old they were. The last one, when they were getting away with doing personalized stamps in Canada, I ordered these ones. So I still have a full sheet of those and a couple spares. I don't send them out as frequently as I did with my other ones because I know once they're gone, they're gone. There's nothing left. So if you could do it, yeah, go for it. It's really cool to have stuff you can. Gary said he subscribed to Olia's channel. That's great. If you haven't subscribed to In Postcards, please go and do it. She is fantastic with her decorating. And it's very relaxing. She puts it all to music, and unlike mine where you just have to hear me jibber-jabbering all the time, there you can be lulled into the beauty of the postcard creation. Another person that I want to promote too, especially it's a result of Olia, is a Siberian American. You can find her on Instagram. Her real name is Anna. She also does really good decorating, not videos, but images and things for Instagram. She sent me a card this week. That was a beautiful surprise. So that's one of the reasons why I keep asking about Call Artists, that video series that I want to do, because I know there's so many talented people out there, and sometimes it's just a matter of promoting them to get other people to watch. Dakota says hi from Charmaine. If you don't know who Dakota is, that's her cat. Well, Polo says hi back, I'm very sure. If you want to send me poetry that you've written yourself, Stephen, feel free. I will read it on here, as long as it's not too X-rated and get my channel banned. I'd be happy to promote your work. If you are a poet in hiding, I'd be glad to read if you want to send it on. But yeah, I know there's lots of artists out there, and some of them want to be have more exposure, and I'm giving you this platform, as small as it may be, to do that. And what I do want to do is be able to send on whatever art you have to somebody else through a giveaway. So I reiterated 1,000%. I don't want to be just asking for you to send me stuff. I want it to be sent. How X-rated is X-rated? I'm not sure, Stephen. That depends on your imagination. I've got a pretty good imagination, and so yeah, I wouldn't want to put out my version out there for sure. But I'm pretty sure Strong language is not usually key on this channel, so I don't really want to be reading it. But I like the question. It's funny. So yeah, I'm going to continue to call all artists as long as I can to promote you guys. So I'm kind of a dog with a bone with that particular one, that I haven't let it go. There are some things that I've done in the past that haven't been received really great, and I have kind of let them go. I still would like to do them, but I've kind of run out of time to do all of the things. One of those, and you may have seen in the past, I was doing video biographies on Canadians that you may not have heard of or not have heard of as much, and I was trying to focus more on lesser known people. So I did that for a while, and then found that there wasn't a lot of people that were super interested in that history right now, so I've kind of let it go. I may come back to it, but I've been doing so much with stamps lately, and people seem to be receptive of that. There's even some festivals that have happened that I haven't gone to or covered that I have in the past. Like this weekend, the Highland Games are taking place. Today's kind of a wet day for it, so I'm glad I'm not out there taping it. But I've done the Highland Games a couple times in the past, so I've decided this year I'm not going to cover it. Stephen says strong language is not what I do. Yeah, we're probably on the same page that way. And for those of you who just saw that message pop up, I am also not a voice for hire in that I've had people want me to say a bunch of different things, and one person just put something, say this for money. No, you're at the wrong channel. How many of you live near a stamp shop, and do you visit it sometimes? I have about 3 very good ones in Athens. That's good, Roger. I'm really hoping we get a chance to meet when I'm in Athens. I'm not sure if we're going to, but if it does, it'll be great. Maybe we can even go to a stamp shop. Here we have one mostly coin shop that does have a few stamps in it. It has more sports cards. It used to be it had a lot of stamps at one point in time when the hobby was much more popular around, but that is the only one that we really have. So I am glad that we have the stamp fair, because I can get a lot of stuff there. Almost every month they have a stamp fair, so except for the summer. So for next July and August, I don't have anything, even though in Halifax, Nova Scotia, which is about a 2.5-hour drive for me, they're going to have a stamp show in August. So I might go down for that, depending on what's happening then. Gary says, in 1979 in Canada, there was a sheet of 12 stamps with the provinces and territory flags. I do have that. Yep, I've got that here somewhere. I think I actually have 2 of them. One's kind of curled. I think I bought it in a lot of stamps at one of the auctions. And then my father has one in his box up there. Yeah, Gary, there used to be a great stamp shop in Langley. I used to go there all the time because it was really close to my house that I lived at out there. I hadn't heard that he'd passed away, so that one's gone. Yeah, I used to go in there all the time, and I'd have my list of all the numbers my father was missing, and I would go through and pick out the ones that I could afford at that point in time, and then send them back to him for Father's Day or his birthday or at Christmas time. I love that store. Yeah, it was really nice. It was kind of in that old one-way part of the road in Langley, so that was nice. Oh, the garage door open. My son is home. Stephen says his local stamp shop in Port Lincoln is the post office. Adelaide's one closed down 3 years ago when that owner passed away. Well, with 3 stamp stores, I guess at least you have some options there versus a brick and mortar store. That whole store was Gary. It was so welcoming. It was kind of a nice little spot. I'm sad to hear that the owner had passed away, and that there was no one else that wanted on. There was a lot of stuff in that store, though. It was packed. He had a lot of things. You're very lucky to have stamp shops. Yes, you are, Roger. I feel like this every week we are very stamp oriented. I don't. Is that the way my channel is going? That it's more stamps than it is postcards or adventure things, or is it just? I don't know. I'm curious to see how trending things go. But I do reiterate that it's always, my channel is not a stamp channel. My channel is not a Lego channel. It's a what I enjoy to do channel, and you get to see a glimpse into my life, and you guys are a part of it now. Stephen has 2 stamp shops in Perth, in Western Australia. I don't know if there's one in Halifax or not. There might be. Halifax is the biggest city in Atlantic Canada, and it's 500,000 with all its small communities around it combined. So it's not a huge city. Like compared to Moncton, which is about 130,000, it's a little bit bigger. 500,000? No, 250,000. Yeah, that's better. 250,000 people in Halifax. Thank you, Charmaine, for the shout out to all the fathers. You know, Stephen, you say that there's definitely a stamp shop in Montreal. When I was in Montreal, it is the hardest thing to find. I went to one that listed that it was there, and it was up on the, whatever, the 7th floor of a building in Main downtown. And when I went there, the doors were all papered up. There was no one answering. So it didn't look like it was very open to me, and I couldn't find any other ones in the downtown core that I was looking for. Now, maybe there are in the outskirts in the communities, so there might have been one, but not easy to find stamp shops anymore. Oh, there's one in downtown Vancouver in Gastown, or near Gastown, okay. When I lived downtown Vancouver, because before I bought my house in Langley, I lived in English Bay. We had an apartment there. I wasn't really looking a lot for stamp stores, so I don't think I even looked to see what was in downtown Vancouver. So, but I'm glad to hear there's still one there. All right, Stephen, I'll be glad to hear what that address is. The one I went to, I can tell you, was on St. Catherine Street. So if it comes up at St. Catherine Street one, it might not be there anymore. Now, it is possible that when I went, it was either under renovations, or maybe the owner was taking a vacation and had just closed temporarily. Anything is possible. No, I know, Gary, the Vancouver prices in all the markets have gone through the roof. When we were living downtown, we had, we were on what? I think we were on the 10th floor of the apartment, overlooked English Bay, about a block from Stanley Park, and I think we paid about $700 a month for our 1 bedroom for my wife and I down there. It was pet friendly, so our German Shepherd Husky was there with us, Darwin. Great apartment, loved it so much, but I know it's not, you wouldn't pay anywhere near that cheaply anymore, especially with what the rent is for my daughter in Montreal. I know Vancouver is so much more expensive. And we did well. We lived down there, a great time. We bought our house out in Langley at a good time. We sold it at a good time. We were just good with the markets. And right now we're in the house that we have been for 18 years now. Markets in Moncton are exploding comparatively, and yeah, hard pressed to get a cheap rent or buy a house anywhere now. $3,000 a month now. Yeah, I can believe it. Yep. The sad thing is that salaries have not gone up at the same rate at rent and the house prices have, so it makes it hard for younger people to start out. Yeah, City Streets on St. Catherine, that's the one. I went there and it was closed. There was no indication that it was closed. All the websites and everything showed that it was open, but when I went, knocked on the door, rang the bells, tried the handles, everything was closed and the windows were papered up on the floor. So it's possible that, like I said, that they were away that day or that week. When was the last time you had dealings with them, Stephen? I went with my list like I did when I was out living in Langley, and I was all set to go with my daughter. We went into the building, went up to try to find some stamps that were missing from my father's collection, and yeah, sadly disappointed it didn't happen, but saved me some money I didn't spend. Well, I think we're going to wrap this up. We had our winner, Snail Mail with Smokey, for the month of June. Congratulations to him on winning the airmail giveaway. We have some things that are coming up. I've got some direct swaps I still have to respond to. And now that my son is home, my daughter is up, my wife is up, I'm just going to go and say hello and see what our plans are for this afternoon. I know shopping is probably in order to try to fill our cupboards and fridges back up again for next week. So that's what I got going on today. Hopefully you guys are going to have a good week. Thank you once again for joining me and being a part of this as we do every week. For now, have a magical week.